Hey everybody, Gary with Basecamp Trading. Let's take a look at our gold futures this morning. And we were able to take advantage of some volatility. And early on in gold, we had some volatility. This was the pit open bar, and you can see we pushed up, down, back up, down, and then we kind of went sideways for the rest of the day. But early on, we had some really nice volatility. Again, this was the bar for the ghost pit open, left this bottoming tail. The entire body of this bar was all buying. The next bar open, left topping tail, and the entire body of this bar was all selling. This is what we call a high low reversal bar because we broke the previous bar's high and then we broke the previous bar's low. So we had a high low reversal bar, left topping tail. The entire body of this bar was selling and it sold all the way down into here. But then, as is very often the case, price did not want to stay under the 50 EMA. Again, we know the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA are significant support and resistance zones, and price often will make a pretty big run underneath it, but just does not want to stay that way. And you can see no exception here, came back above it. Next bar came down, touched it, and then the entire body of that bar was all buying. Pushed higher, left a little topping tail, followed by a bearish bar. The entire body of this bar was all selling back to the downside. And then we pushed down, actually got under the 50 EMA. Didn't stay, of course, and then just kind of chopped around it the rest of the day. But early on, we had some good volatility that gave us some opportunity to make some good trades. And one of those, actually several of these, came off the Renko chart. This is where we had that initial push up, and then this is where we made the high-low reversal. We pushed down, broke the cloud. This is one of our favorite trade setups. We broke the cloud. We pulled back into the cloud. Everything got in alignment. Price is under the smooth 50, under the cloud, the 18 EMA, under the 34 EMA, under the 50 SMA, and we had a momentum reset. We pushed down, pulled back near the zero line, not to it, but near it. Nice momentum reset, so plenty of room for momentum to accelerate our trade in the direction we wanted it to go. And we got a really nice push down off of this. It depends on how you're trading it. You had the opportunity to grab $900, maybe even a little more. Again, it's all in how you trade it, where you take your targets, but definitely, opportunity to get, $600, $700, $800 minimum for sure. And like I said, there's actually over $900 in this move. Most people aren't picking tops and bottoms, but we have targets and we take advantage and maximize our profits pretty regularly. Then we got this bounce back, and we actually have another chart that we kind of have started playing around with. This is what we call our scalp chart. We broke the 18 EMA, and we're just looking to take a scalp off of this with our first contract and then leave a runner with a break-even stop and see if it can go anywhere. And actually, we're able to grab a few $100s out of that move back up right there, pulled back down, nothing in the cloud. We don't do anything in the cloud. And then we got another Renko set up right there. We broke the cloud, pulled back down into it. Now, our initial wick was down here, but it was still in the cloud. But then we pushed up, set up a wick out of the cloud. Not the most perfect setup in the world, but at this point, not bad because we had already had the reversal bar back to the upside. We pulled back, broke the cloud, set up the wick out of the cloud, and momentum had shifted. The fast and the slow line had crossed back to the upside. So little higher risk trade, but not a bad setup, especially since it was going to go on to trigger a trend reversal breakout. And the trend reversal breakout was set up. Now, at this point, it hadn't triggered. This was a little bit of an early anticipation entry. If you wanted to really play it conservative and wait for the actual trend reversal breakout, you still could have grabbed a couple $100 off of that trend reversal breakout. Again, a trend reversal breakout is we're in a downtrend, higher highs or lower highs, lower lows. You see we're in a downtrend. And then we come right here, we put in a pivot. It's not a higher pivot high. Our previous pivot high is all the way back there. But it's a pivot. And then we put in a higher pivot low. And then once we break above this pivot, we're breaking to a higher pivot high. changing the trend. So a couple different ways you could have played that. If you actually took the wick out of the cloud, you could have grabbed a little over $500 per contract. Again, just depends on how you're trading it, what your targets are. If you waited for the trend reversal breakout, still could have grabbed a couple hundred off of that. And then our scalp chart gave us another really good setup back to the downside. You can see that also gave us a setup coming out of the cloud, but we also got a nice setup to the downside, broke the 18 EMA, and then we're able to push down. We enter with 2 contracts on this, take one off at first target, which is $200, and then let the second one run. And so, yeah, a really nice opportunity on this move down to grab another $500-$600, depending on how you were trading it. And then our final setup was this Trender Pro 2.0 wick out of the cloud, and again, good for another couple $100 per contract potential. So again, it just depends on your trading style, what your risk tolerance is, how you trail your runners, but definitely some really nice opportunities made available to us. Again, no reason you shouldn't have got, $700-$800 out of this. Like I said, there was almost $1,000 in the move, not quite, but very close. No reason not to get at least $700 or $800 out of that move. And again, another nice move to grab, potential to grab another 400 or 500 here. Don't really do anything in the cloud. Another opportunity to grab 500-600 or a couple hundred, depending on how you traded it there, with another opportunity to grab 500 or 600 here and 200 here. So you had some opportunities trading volatility in gold today.